So what do you think, Colts fans? You like Jeff Saturday as your new head coach? Because that's who you got. We're going to talk about that tonight as we welcome you inside the comfy confines of the Channel 13 studios. Here we are on Election Eve, Felicia.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. It's just so much to talk about between elections and the whirlwind in the sports world that we were inside of today. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot to get to. And the fact that we could all potentially be billionaires. Well, not all of us. Look at not all of us. It's only room for one billionaire.
Yeah, Powerball numbers set to come out in an hour. We'll have those numbers for you over on Channel 13 when we see you in about an hour. But first, numbers are also critical in the weather forecast because Angela's talking about really nice weather and then really chilly.
Of course, you know, I make you wait till 11 to see the 7-day. Of course. Unless you want to cheat and get online. But yeah, we're going to go from mid-70s to flurries in a matter of like 48
Don't look,
hours.
Scott.
How you feeling,
Look,
Felicia?
Scott's sticking a knife in and he's twisting it, and I'm not okay. My mom already texted me. She said she's disappointed that you're bringing flurries, Angela.
I'm sorry, Felicia's mom.
She sent me a text.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my phone
Don't kill the messenger.
Yeah, I didn't bring the phone out.
The good news is Election Day is nice.
Right.
So really no excuse not to get out and vote tomorrow. It is going to be a little cool. So if you're headed to your polling place early and you think, oh, there might be a line, I would definitely take the coat. Morning temperatures, upper 30s, low 40s. We get into the mid 40s by 10 a.m., mid 50s by noon. Highs tomorrow in the low 60s. We're back into the 70s for Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday will be the warmest, 75, near record warmth, but something's going to happen on Friday, and that something is a cold front. And this one has a lot of cold air behind it. Coldest air of the season, in fact, with temperatures for highs in the 30s. And Sean always likes to do this math. So we go from mid-70s to like a feels like temperature of 15. That's a feels like temperature change of like 60. So he likes to do that kind of math.
Right.
I would prefer not focusing on that big of a drop. But it is, I think, going to be like, whoa. We went from really nice here for quite a stretch to flurries and 30s for highs.
Right.
Well, I hope people can be at home bundled up in their blankies and don't have to move. My retired mother will be doing that. However, I will be out here working.
Yes,
But the weekend you've got movie tickets. So you wear your nice comfy, cozy sweater.
Silver lining. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you'll be
Angela.
fine.
All right,
did your
well,
best.
we're going to talk a little bit more about the forecast to come and make sure that you get out and vote tomorrow for the election. So let's talk, and the three of us are going to talk about this, big Colts news tonight. So you knew about this around 11:30 today. You heard the news that Frank Reich was fired. I mean, the Colts have had a lousy season. They're not winning. They're not protecting the quarterback. They are fumbling and throwing interceptions. Yesterday it was against New England. The Colts scored 3 points in the game. So their offense obviously is broken, not doing well. So Frank Reich is out after 4.5 seasons. He's gone, and Irsay, the owner, Jim Irsay, surprised everybody by naming Jeff Saturday, former Colts center. Obviously a beloved player here in Indianapolis during the golden years of the Colts. I mean, obviously he was snapping the ball to Peyton Manning for so many years and is a really well-liked player. He was a TV analyst yesterday. He has limited coaching experience. He's only coached a high school football team in Georgia. No college experience, no professional experience, but he is a favorite of Jim Irsay. And so tonight they had a news conference, and we are not able to play video because of the NFL rules. We can't play any of the video during this show. We will have it at 11 over on 13, but I wanted to at least mention some of the things that Irsay said tonight.
Quotes of the night?
Quotes of the night.
We need to get you a cowboy hat.
That's right.
Can you do it in his?
I cannot do a Jim Irsay impression. I can't. So Jim Irsay saying about Jeff Saturday, he's qualified. He understands the game. This is for 8 games, so he's the interim head coach for the last 8 games of the season. He called it an intuitive decision. He said of Jeff Saturday, he has tons of experience. He understands the game inside and out. The job wasn't offered to anyone else. Reporters asked him, is this permanent? He said, no, there's been no discussion about this being permanent. It's an interim position. Jim Irsay has never fired a coach midseason in his 27 years of owning the NFL. Saturday said that shock would be the understatement of the day when he learned that he got the phone call from the Colts owner overnight. He said he talked to his wife Karen and prayed about it, and also talked with GM Chris Ballard, who was at tonight's news conference. He says he feels fully capable. He came in as a player. Nobody expected anything of him as a player, and now he comes in as the interim head coach and says, look, maybe people won't think, anything, won't expect anything of him. But he said, I'm a leader of men. I'm excited about it. One of the things that he mentioned, which a lot of sports fans are wondering, because the Colts fired their offensive coordinator a week ago, who's going to be calling the plays on Sunday when the Colts are in Vegas playing the Raiders? He said he was interviewing some of the other coaches on the staff, so he hasn't made a decision about that. Thought he might make a decision later tonight, but look, who is it going to be? Is it going to be Reggie Wayne, the wide receiver coach? Will it be another coach?
I like that.
I don't know.
I like that call.
And they've got a couple of other
too.
guys
I like
too.
that call.
I like that too. I feel like as fans, we have no choice but to be cautiously optimistic.
Sure.
Because when you're already at the bottom, when things already are bad, I mean, their only way to go is hopefully up, hopefully not plateau and go sideways, but is to go up. They said that they tried to hire him a couple of times before already. I think
for other positions, I think, offensive line and some other, maybe one other position.
And so clearly he's been in the mix for a while. They clearly have a personal relationship. That was evident. You could see that. So
and he's been a paid consultant for the team for the last couple of years. So I assume that when there's personnel decisions or other coordinators that they may be looking at, Jeff Saturday is a guy that they respect and like and respect his opinion. So anyway, we want to know what your thought is about Jeff Saturday. Look, personally, I think Jeff Saturday is a wonderful guy. I mean, he's great in the community. He was very popular when he was here. Obviously, he's part of the Colts' golden age, when Peyton and others won the Super Bowl. I don't think there's any, I mean, look, we
a lot of
Jeff
people
Saturday.
like him. He's a likable guy.
He's well liked. To me, it's like, okay, experience. I mean, this is a guy that doesn't have much coaching experience. He's got it at the high school level, but he's never coached college or pro football, and so I'm a little concerned about that.
Well, but maybe they have the right pieces in place. They just didn't have the right leader in place. And so if he comes in and leads, and maybe it changes.
Maybe. What you said, though, Scott, I mean, I know he specifically said that Tony Dungy was a calculated hire. They looked at the stats. They looked at the numbers. He said, this hire is a feeling. He's just going with an instinct. So maybe, we don't know. That's really what it comes down to. Nobody knows until it happens. But we're already losing more than we are winning. So
3-5-1.
Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Colts have got a number of problems that I'm not sure Jeff Saturday is going to be able to fix in a week, less than a week. And their offensive line has been horrible.
His job is to come in and maintain.
Yeah, he's got a quarterback, Sam Ehlinger, who he said tonight would be his starting quarterback Sunday against the Raiders, who's had 2 starts. And, he was running for his life. He got sacked 9 times.
Oh, was it 9? I think I stopped watching when he was sacked 8 times. I'm like, I thought this is over.
They were 0 for 14 in third down attempts. They couldn't make a first down.
No first downs.
No first downs. And
I have 2 questions. So do you all think that Jeff Saturday is being put in this position just so Jim Irsay can be able to make the calls that he wants to be able to make through a person? I don't want to use in essence, I'm saying like a puppet. I don't want to use the word puppet because I'm not trying to take away from Jeff Saturday, his experience and what he's accomplished. But do you think he's putting his guy in there?
I think this is a PR move. I think that he loves Jeff Saturday. I mean, he's part of the glory days of
Jeff
the Colts.
Saturday.
Right.
He's a likable guy.
He is a really great guy. But I think that Jim Irsay is feeling like Colts Nation, the fan base is,
I think you're right.
He's losing them. And so look, if he had chosen a coach that's currently on staff outside of Reggie Wayne, I'm not sure we'd be thinking, oh, okay, great. I'm really excited about this assistant.
We're intrigued.
But now it's like Colts Nation, oh, we like Jeff Saturday. We're behind this move.
Yeah. Let's see what he can do.
Let's see what he can do.
Let's at least see if we can get some entertaining TV. Right. I hear he flies off the word with his words.
He's a yeller.
Cuss words are flying. Well, clipboards might be flying. We at least might get some entertaining television.
Sure. That's true. I mean, look, maybe he can reset the locker room. obviously the Colts need something different going on in the locker room, and and look, he was a center for how many years with the Colts? And the offensive line is a mess.
Right.
Maybe he can get to these offensive linemen and get them to play better.
I wonder what he thinks of the O-line coach. I don't even know who that is, but I wonder what he thinks. Like, is that where they start?
No, you got to start everywhere.
Well, this is true.
But you can't start everywhere. Where do you start? So I do have one more question before we get to viewer comments.
Sure.
And I mean, viewers can weigh in on this too. Do you think that Jeff Saturday really wants this coaching job? Like, is he just coming in doing a favor because Jim Irsay, a friend, asked him to? It's an interesting time for the Colts. Like, do you think, they told us that he is meant to be interim. There's no discussion of, a contract later down the road. I think at this point, he's just trying to get through the season and get people still watching.
Right.
But do you think Jeff Saturday would be interested?
He seemed genuinely excited.
Right.
And kind of pumped up to be back and excited about the challenge. So
that's a heck of an audition.
It is.
Yeah, it is. And there's only, 32 of these jobs around. And so, here's Jeff Saturday in position to get one of only a couple of 32 jobs.
Well, he did mention that.
Yeah.
He mentioned, I'm not only doing this, but basically I'm on display for the
others,
31 teams.
One other thing that'll be interesting, there's what's called the Rooney Rule in the NFL, where owners are told that they need to interview minority candidates. And Jim Irsay was asked about that tonight. And I thought he didn't answer the question directly.
Not.
He mentioned his past success with Tony Dungy and Jim Caldwell when Tony needed to take a break. And so he did mention that. But, part of the interview process is interviewing minority candidates and making sure that all of these candidates have an opportunity to get these jobs. So, look, for the interim job, I don't know, does the Rooney Rule not apply? I'm not sure. In the off season, it would seem as though it would need to apply.
And he said he was looking forward to that. I think we would all be looking forward to that as fans because you want the best person in the job. But this goes back to what I was telling. I don't know if I said it on air, if I said it in a commercial break. It really feels like he just put his guy in there, somebody that they have spent time with. Jim Irsay has spent time with behind the scenes, socially, and was like, and I know that he has been a consultant for the team. I think both are possible, but I think he went with a comfortable choice, who he felt was comfortable, who was in his circle, who has been around him. Obviously, he's been on the field, so he's proven himself, to at least be able to show up and get a job done. But he went with what was in his circle. And so, depending on your circle, that's going to put a certain demographic out of, and not in, they won't be in the question. They won't be in the picture. So, but we'll see what happens with the head coach job.
And that will, likely come during the off season when Jeff Saturday and others would presumably be interviewed for the head coaching job for that. So we'll continue to watch that. But it's been a day that Colts fans, I can never remember Jim Irsay, well, he's never done it. In 27 years, he's never fired a coach mid-season. So we're in kind of uncharted waters in the midst of a bad season. It's just been tough.
A quarterback change. Rich and I was talking about this. A quarterback change 1 week.
Offensive coordinator getting
gone,
fired.
A head coach gone. And there's a lot of buzz on Twitter about Chris Ballard and his kind of behavior during the press conference and his posture and blaming the media. And there was quite the quote that I can't say because it contains a bad
what did he
word.
say about the media?
That we've been on him.
Yeah, people want to win. That's what happens when you're in the spotlight.
I think he was referring to the fact that we've been on him about lack of wide receivers being drafted. And now we're on him about the O-line. And it's like, well, that's it.
Yeah.
You have to have all the pieces of the puzzle.
Right. Yeah, I felt like I didn't see all of Ballard's comments. I did see Irsay, and I thought both Jim Irsay, it seemed like, was getting defensive. He kept saying we're the fourth winningest franchise since 2000.
Yeah, in the last 20-something years.
And I keep thinking, well, I'm not sure that they've won a division maybe more than once during the Ballard era. Maybe they've won one playoff game. And if Irsay is saying we have high expectations, you are who your record is.
Yeah.
You're 3-5-1. You haven't even been competitive in the division.
The numbers are the numbers.
Yeah, and I really think it goes back to quarterbacks, the string
Yeah.
of mess
Right.
that we've had.
Yeah, we've been sort of
Since,
renting these old quarterbacks.
Since
right?
Luck retired.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, and was that the right move, and whose decision was that?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I
So-
will say, no one likes to see anyone lose their job.
No,
But
no.
every time I think about it, I'm like, oh, there are a few million reasons why I shouldn't feel that bad.
Well, right, and I think he's under contract to what, 2026?
You're talking about Matt Ryan?
No, I'm talking. Well, we can go down
Well,
that road.
There's
wanna talk
50
about-
million guaranteed
Don't get
to Matt
Angela
Ryan.
started.
We want to talk about all the people that we're paid
Don't get
Right,
Angela
right.
and
started.
have paid,
Right.
and now Frank Reich is one of them.
Yeah.
He was
that's-
under contract
You're
for.
right. He
Yeah.
did sign an extension that I
Yeah.
think goes to 2026.
Yeah, so we're paying that.
Yeah.
I'm just
Right.
noting
I just
it's
tell you.
not like the regular Joe Schmo that's
Right.
losing their job.
No, and I get mad. I pay $5 for a bag of Ruffles.
Yep.
Let alone, I mean, Mr. Ursay,
Yep.
you're paying for stuff you're not getting results.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
We could obviously go on and on and on, and perhaps we will for the rest of the season. But let's close it up by hearing it at least one more time about tomorrow's wake-up weather.
It's an important one because it's election day tomorrow. Early morning temperatures will be in the upper 30s, close to 40. We've got some sunshine on tap. Should make it into the low 60s tomorrow afternoon, and then 70s Wednesday and Thursday.
Teresa says, Jim is the owner and can make this decision. Let's give Jeff a chance.
Okay.
Sharon is with us tonight. Mary says, thank goodness Saturday is taking over the Colts. Phil says, I like Jeff Saturday. He's an awesome guy, but I don't think he will be the answer to the Colts coaching problems.
Okay.
Glenn is with us tonight. Paul is with us. Victoria says good news about Jeff Saturday. Mary says love Jeff Saturday. He will do great. So anyway, we
People
got.
are rooting for him.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well,
because
he's
he
a great
is,
guy.
He is that.
And we're all Colts fans, so we want to see the Colts do
Yeah.
well. So
You
anyway.
said this is a PR move. It's doing what it should
It's
do.
working.
That's right.
It's working.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. Hope to see you over on Channel 13 at 11 o'clock. Good night.
Bye.